So shortly after Marjorie Taylor Greene announced that she would be retiring in January, many more House Republicans have signaled that they would also be leaving. Reporter Jake Sherman posted the following on X. Let me show you what he wrote. In it, he writes, "Since this ran this morning, 4 hours ago, I've gotten countless text messages from House Republicans agreeing with this sentiment and saying, why the hell should we stay in Congress if all we're going to do is vote on censures and be a potted plant?" A few other GOP members messaged us over the weekend saying that they too are considering retiring in the middle of the term. Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So do me a favor. We're getting there. We're 10,000 shy. So hit subscribe, watch, comment, and do me a favor. Please share this with family, friends, with everyone, because this stupidity, it's got to end. Now, the GOP, very stressed. Stressed as the party splinters and the midterms are nearing. Tucker Carlson actually said that he hates the Republican Party. Oh, good, because we hate you too. Play the clip.
And on the Republican Party, which is almost to the point where it's just useless, and I'm going to have to oppose it because I hate them too much, but because they're such betrayers.
Yeah, let me be very clear. Nobody cares about Tucker Carlson except Tucker Carlson. Now, Laura Ingraham even admitted that the midterms, not really looking too good for the GOP. Play the clip.
Okay. Katie, one thing that we should also see, Mark is right, the midterms right now look ugly unless the Republicans really get serious.
Yeah. Here's the problem. Republicans aren't getting serious because Republicans aren't governing. They're taking the cues from fools like Stephen Miller and others, like Russell Vought and others, all who are on this anti-democratic republic tour, this Project 2025 event. Jake Sherman, again, pointed out that Trump is actually begging people, literally begging people to vote in Tennessee for a seat that he won by 20 points in the past. Let me show you what he says. And he says, I am asking all America First patriots in Tennessee's 7th congressional district who haven't voted yet to please get out and vote for MAGA warrior Matt Van Epps tomorrow, November, blah, blah, blah. And again, that was a seat that Trump won by 20 points. What does that tell you? It tells you that he's afraid. He's concerned. Why? Because he knows when Democrats take the House and possibly now even the Senate, it is going to be a nightmare for him and his cronies. What they need to do is start working together with the Democrats. Instead of every single time that he goes on Air Force One, decides to speak to somebody, or goes in front of a camera in front of the White House, instead of attacking every single Democrat as being something negative, how about work with them as he was claiming that he is, but they're really not? Now, you can tell that MAGA is getting desperate as MAGA Mike Johnson and his wife, these two went on Stephen Miller's wife's podcast. Play the clip.
You know who Jelly Roll is?
Do I know? Yes, we have selfies together.
Okay, great. I mean, who could not be happy with this? MAGA Mike Johnson going on Stephen Miller's wife's podcast. It's brilliant. Brilliant move. Katie Miller goes on and asks Mike Johnson about the most annoying part of being Speaker of the House. Play that clip.
What's the most annoying part about being Speaker?
Probably no downtime.
Yeah.
Hardly any downtime. For me, just.
No, that's right. I mean, even when you think like the work of the day is done and you put the phone down, I mean, this would be 11:30 at night. Ring, ring, what? Another crisis, you know, I mean, you're sort of like a firefighter in a way. You have to put out fires every hour.
Yes, you're putting out fires that you started. It's called Munchausen by proxy. I mean, funny thing is how Mike Johnson's wife, by the way, I've never seen her before. I have no idea who she was. If she was walking past me in the street, I wouldn't know who the hell she was. But she's busy doing something, not sure, because it takes away from your life. I know what it's like to get the 11:30 p.m. phone calls from Trump. I lived that for a decade. every night at 11:30, every morning at 4:45, 5 a.m. My phone calls from Trump. Sure, there were things going on, but we certainly didn't sit there and complain about it. You are the Speaker of the House. How about resign? How about do us all a favor and resign? Or maybe soon you'll be fired. Meanwhile, he also spoke about how the Speaker position literally just takes over your entire life. Play the clip.
Speakership has evolved. It is such an all-encompassing role because you're in charge of not just the policy and legislative side, but it's the fundraising, the politics, the member management, all the various aspects. And it is somebody asked me the other day, we were accused when we were out of session when the Democrats closed the government down a couple weeks ago. Hakeem Jeffries is the Democrat leader in the House, and he was out saying the Speaker Johnson put the House on vacation. And I thought it was laughable. And I was on Fox News Sunday last weekend, and Shannon Bream asked about that. I said, that's fine. I haven't had a vacation day in 2 years. I haven't been off in 2 years, literally. So it really does.
Christmas Day. Maybe
Christmas Day, but even then, last Christmas, I'm taking calls from members with their drama. So that's part of it. We accept the responsibility. It's for a season of life. It's not forever, but it takes everything out of whomever serves in a position, and by extension, their family. So we're blessed to have a close-knit group.
It's a team effort for sure, and you have to feel called to it together, no doubt. And it's a true honor, though. It is difficult, but it is an honor to serve our country.
Well, it would be an honor if MAGA Mike would just go away. I would consider that to be an honorable move. Now, Stephen Miller himself went on Fox and Friends to claim that Democrats are trying to tear down democracy every single day. Play the clip.
The Democrat Party is openly engaged every day in trying to tear down democracy, whether it be judges who are binding the president with unlawful orders, releasing violent criminals back onto the street, trying to cement and protect the illegal alien invasion of America, and now fomenting rebellion inside of the ranks of our armed forces and CIA.
There's something very special about Stephen Miller's stupidity, right? It is sheer projection and deflection. It is actually the Republicans that are tearing down the morals and the fabric of our Constitution. Imagine telling a judge that because we don't like your decision, you are not being judicious. That's what Stephen Miller is saying. If you are a legislator and you don't believe that the bill that's in front of you or the issue in front of you benefits your constituents and you vote against it, you are being disloyal and you are not a good legislator. That's what Stephen Miller is saying here. He, of course, also tried to claim that Democrats are racist. Play the clip.
I think the only racists here are those in the Democratic Party and those who exist on MS Now, whatever that is, the new MSDNC. I've never seen our vice president be more appreciative of his wife or more grateful for her service. In fact, every time the vice president talks about Usha's service, he does it with such praise and such devotion in his heart that to hear these people criticize his relationship with his wife, which is private and sacred, is disgusting, gross, and it's those same gross attacks that the American people overwhelmingly reject, and they will continue to reject. President Trump and our party, the Republican Party, are fighting every day for Americans to make their lives better. We're not stuck in the mud. We're fighting above. And all they have left to do is these deranged identity-based attacks because that's how they think they can win because they don't have any platforms to run on.
Could you imagine what their kid must be like? Could you imagine their kid as your student in a class with these two as your parents? One more deranged, more loony than the other? And speaking, of course, of racist people, Dan Coe, well, he reminded us that while Marjorie Taylor Greene may have seen the light, she has a really ugly, dark past. Play the clip.
Look, my mom raised me to be a nice person, so I'm going to say this as nicely as possible. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a racist, sexist, homophobic insurrectionist. Let's just run the clock back, okay? This is a person who claimed that the California wildfires were caused by space lasers from a rich Jewish family. She said that Pelosi was using Nazi gazpacho police. She called LGBTQ people predators. She called January 6ers hostages, going on and on again. So we shouldn't let this recent narrative of turning against Trump fool anyone. Either side of the aisle should not want a member of Congress like this. In my opinion, it's good riddance, and we can't have more people like her.
Well, unfortunately, there's still a ton of them sitting there in the House of Representatives and in the Senate. And finally, I do want to prove how MAGA can be so frickin' ignorant. I want to end on a clip of Scott Jennings, the jerk-off, literally speaking with Abby Phillips about victimhood mentality. Play the clip.
I guess I'm just surprised that now, this very moment, is the first time that this thought has crossed his mind, because I do think that actually the victimhood mentality is something that has helped power Trumpism. I mean, it's all been about what they are doing to us, how we are the victims, how the immigrants are taking our jobs, how other countries are taking our jobs. Everything is victimhood in Trump's world. So this is not really all that new. I'm surprised
I disagree with your assessment. I mean, I think what drove a lot of President Trump's coalition is a whole bunch of people who felt like they were doing everything that they've been told to do. Get up every day, go to work, pay their taxes, take care of their families, play by the rules. And they were living under systems that were then forcing them to pay taxes and deal with other ideologies and cultural issues that were essentially harming their lives or causing them to not be able to live the life.
You're literally describing
the same thing.
So they're playing by the rules. They're playing by the rules. They're doing everything.
You're describing a victimhood mentality.
No, I'm describing people who get up and go to work. Well,
this is the problem why CNN is so unwatchable, that while trying to get news, what you get is you get this almost like Bravo style bullshit coming out every single time. Scott Jennings and others come as they overtalk one another and they say the most stupid, the most racist, sexist, misogynistic, xenophobic, homophobic, transphobic, Islamophobic, anti-Semitic rants. They just don't know what to do to say. It's also why I wrote in my Substack of this morning, let the firings begin. There are so many mistakes coming out of this Republican House, so many coming out of this administration, that I do believe that we are going to start seeing Trump do what Trump does best. And that is turning around and letting the blame fall on others, be it Kash Patel, be it a Pam Bondi, be it, you name it, a Marco Rubio, be it a Pete Hegseth. It doesn't matter. Each and every one of them, Stephen Miller, makes so many mistakes that he ultimately has to put the blame on somebody else. Because as I say in the Substack, in Trump world, it almost doesn't matter. The threat of the fire, the threat of firing them is really the point. See, what he does is he uses the paranoia of being fired as the glue and the uncertainty as its currency. See, these firings, they don't just happen. They hang over you like a chandelier held up by dental floss. And that's why stupid people like Scott the Jerk-Off Jennings says the dumb things that he says every single night. And as always, thanks for listening and happy Thanksgiving. Hey everyone, first of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.